Hey, it's Day. How's it going, folks? So today's video is all about travel life hacks. So a lot of people always ask me so many questions about traveling, and I figured I'd finally answer the best I can. Because there's so many questions, I decided to try and break them down into parts. So I figured part one would probably be one of the biggest questions that people have, which is money. So I'm going to be breaking this down into a few sections. One of them is how to travel for cheap and how you can save money traveling. Number two is about prioritizing funds. Number three is all about currency exchange. And number four is how to make money while traveling. Now, money tends to be the biggest reason as to why people decide not to travel, so I hope this video can be helpful. I do want to say that I am going to be skipping over flights and housing for the most part. I did make a separate video about this, so please check that out if you're curious about more detail in depth about how to get cheap flights and how to get housing. Because I booked a trip to Europe for less than $400 and I really wanted to share that with you guys. So once you're in the country, traveling can be quite cheap. So for example, I'm currently here in Thailand, and Thailand's very affordable. With meals only being between $1 and $3, it's so cheap. And not only that, but transportation is also extremely cheap too. You can easily spend less than $10 a day here in Thailand. Hence why I'm here, because I'm kind of running low on money myself, and it's quite easy to stretch my dollars. So a lot of it can play a big part of like where you decided to go. I go to Japan quite often, and Japanese is my second language. So as much as I love Japan, however, it's very, very expensive, so I don't tend to stay there for long periods of time. I can survive $10 a day here in Thailand, whereas I spend about $10 for some meal in Japan. Usually my budget with Japan easily can be between $30 and $40 US, whereas here in Thailand, it could be around $5 to $10 a day. So making sure that you do a bunch of research on what places you want to go to, I think is very important. Southeast Asia in general is just extremely affordable. You can get housing and hostels for like around $5 a night, if that. Literally $5 a night to stay in a hostel, that is extremely affordable compared to maybe Japan where you're going to be paying a lot more. So there are also ways where you can stay at places for completely free. No joke. Seriously, you can stay at places for free. For example, there's a site called WorkAway. There are also many alternatives of the same similar site where basically people are looking for other travelers or other people to do work for them. In exchange, they get free housing. And there are just so many jobs. You can teach English, you can just converse in English, you can just do cleaning, you can do social media, photography, videography. Even if you're not that good at it, the fact that you're there is really helpful. I found ones where you can like paint. I mean, that's pretty awesome. You literally are painting the walls and painting designs, and in exchange you get free housing. There was one that I really wanted to do in China. You stayed in a monastery in the mountains in northern China. Like, I'd say that's a pretty cool experience. For my personal self, how I decided to travel, especially throughout Thailand, was in exchange for free housing. I did a lot of videography and photography work. So it was quite fun actually. When I was in South Thailand, throughout the islands, I stayed at party hostels during the full moon party, which is this huge event in southern Thailand. Usually, generally, mostly foreigners, but it's still quite fun. Because it's a pretty big event, in exchange for doing videography and photography, they desperately really needed one. They let me stay there for free. So it was quite cool. I literally just relaxed and chilled by the beach area for free. And all I did was take pictures and videos of people partying. Like, it was quite an easy and simple job, but they needed someone to do that for them. And I mean, it's a hostel with dozens and dozens of beds, so one bed for free. They're not really losing much, but they're getting a lot out of it. So having a set of skills to bring to you is such a valuable thing to do while traveling, because you can really exchange that for free housing and free food even. I mean, a lot of places offer free breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All you have to do is literally talk to their kids in English. It's such an easy way to travel because you're not spending literally any money. You're not having to worry about housing. The only thing you have to worry about is getting there. That's my next topic, is transportation. So again, this is within the country. Fortunately enough, once you're in Asia, it's quite affordable. I think a lot of people also don't know that or aware of that. Similar to Europe, when I was a student, I booked a ticket to London for like $15. It was so cheap. $15 is like one meal in the US. So once you're in a country, or a continent I should say, it's quite easy to travel to other countries within that continent. So same with Southeast Asia or Asia in general, it's very affordable, very easy to go to other countries. There's no transportation. In Thailand, it's very easy to buy flights and travel everywhere too. I mean, you can buy a flight to other parts of Thailand for like less than 20 bucks. One-way tickets to Kuala Lumpur for $40. Vietnam for $50. If you just manage to save a few $100s, and once you're in the country, then you can really just go to a lot of places. And not only that, a lot of people also don't even fly. You really honestly don't even have to fly. I know someone that I met in Malaysia who literally hitchhiked from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, all the way north to Laos. So he came through South Thailand, up to North Thailand, and then made his way to Laos by hitchhiking. He literally just hitchhiked and walked, and maybe like rented a motor scooter here and there for a few dollars. I also know someone who biked from China to Thailand, literally through bicycle. I think sometimes people really think that if you want to travel luxurious, it's quite different, right? If you want to take planes all the time, staying in hotels, then of course that can get kind of costly. So for me, the first time I was ever in a hotel was literally 2 days ago. But besides that, I've been traveling since summer and I have not stayed in any hotel rooms besides just a couple of days ago. I literally slept on people's couches, I slept on mattresses on the floor, I've slept and shared beds with people. There was nothing luxurious about the places I was staying in. When I was in New York City for a bit before I decided to hop in Japan, I stayed on a friend's floor. When I was in Japan, I stayed on a friend's couch. Throughout Taiwan and Thailand, I've just done cheap little hostels for a few bucks a day, exchanged skills for housing. I've shared beds with people. When I was in Malaysia, I literally slept in a girl's floor in her art studio, and I also shared a bed with a Chilean girl in a Chinese Malay's house. Like, I'm not living luxurious lives in a hotel where, yeah, that can get kind of costly, but when I'm spending practically zero money or just only a few dollars a night, you can save a lot of money, and that makes traveling very affordable. As weird or as uncomfortable that may sound to some people, it's actually a very, very wonderful experience. I mean, you just only need a place to sleep. Other than that, you're gonna be traveling and doing a bunch of things. And it's really cool when you're staying with different people, you know, like when I was in Malaysia and I stayed at the Chinese Malay's guy's house, sleeping in a bed next to a Chilean girl. That's such a beautiful range of cultures mixed together in one. And we were able to share so much unique experiences and ideas and thoughts about our own country, and us coming together and just spending time together. It's just very beautiful. So the next section I want to say is prioritizing funds. And this really depends on person to person. It varies a lot. So for me, I don't have a car and I don't have a home. I don't have children. Although you can travel with children, I do see it. And I don't have anything that I'm constantly feeding money into. That's just student loans. But besides that, I focus a lot on prioritizing what's best for me. So when I was back in the States, a lot of times my friends always party. So although I really enjoy partying and having just a good time and a good night, I decided not to oftentimes. My friends all the time like to go out to another city for a weekend or a few nights and just party all weekend. And it's such a great and wonderful, fun experience. But I really want to travel. I could go for a weekend and spend a lot of money on hotels and getting alcohol and food for the weekend. And do I want to spend a couple $100 this weekend, where a couple $100 could be a whole month in Asia? So again, you have to figure out what's important to you and what do you want to do with your life. So again, I don't own any jewelry. I don't have video game systems. I love playing video games, but I don't own any gaming systems. I also like wearing makeup, but I don't own that much makeup. Like, I probably own like 5, 6, 7 things of makeup. My makeup literally fits in a tiny pouch. So my priority is to invest in things that are important to me. So whether it's traveling or eating healthier or going to the gym. So what is important to you that you want to prioritize? So if traveling is the biggest thing you really want to do next year, but that means you have to cut down on partying. That means you have to cut down on going out with friends. That means you have to stop buying the next new makeup or video game thing that's coming out. So one thing I really do suggest is to write down a list of things that you really love and you want, and I suggest prioritizing them. For my first flight out of the country, I literally only had 2 bags. I had my carry-on bag and a backpack. And that was everything I owned currently in my life, was in those 2 bags. So I mentioned earlier about saving money in hotels and hostels or sleeping on someone's floor or couch. So to me at that time, my priority is to also save money so I can use it to continue to travel versus spending all my money quickly at once. So I could spend a nice $60 a night hotel in Bangkok, or I could spend a $2 a night hostel in Bangkok. Or I could sleep on someone's floor for free, or I can spend $100 at a hotel in Malaysia. So what's important to you? What do you want to prioritize? Another thing about money is currency exchanges. So a lot of people may not know how that exactly works. So I will explain that to you as quickly as I possibly can, because I feel like this video is kind of getting long already. but there are multiple currencies. One way I like to save money is I try to be smart with how I use my currencies. So before I travel, for one, I make sure to always call my bank. You want to do that for sure. Always call your bank before you travel, just because you will not be able to use it once you're in another country if you don't call your bank, because they're just going to assume that someone's hacked your account and they're going to close it off completely. So you want to make sure that you call your bank beforehand, so that way you can use it in the country that you're staying in. For two, one thing I really like to do is I like to take out as much money as I possibly can or feel comfortable doing. So say if I'm taking out a few $100 back in the States, I keep it with me. I usually have this thing I put over my neck, like this pouch, and I kind of tuck it in under my shirt so I know for sure that it's safe with me. And then I exchange it once I get to the other country, because you just save so much money doing that. Because if you take out money at the airport or back in another country, you can really rack up a lot of fees, and that can get quite costly. Once you're in that country, try to not exchange as much money as possible at the airport, just because airports do like to charge a lot for fees, and they also don't really have that good of a deal when it comes to currency exchanges and rates. So what I do is I take my money, I exchange just a little bit at the airport, and then I make sure I go to a bank in the country that I'm staying in and exchange more there. It tends to be way more fair, and there's usually no fees. As long as you just have your passport, that's all you need, and it's quite easy and it's a done deal. Okay, last but not least when it comes to money is how to make money while traveling. So earlier I mentioned that in exchange for housing, I sometimes do photography and videography. So this is a great way for me to save money. It's also a great way for me to make money as well. Here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, I do make money making videos and taking pictures for people. I also learned how to do some design work, because that's another way for me to make money for other people. Just these little skills that helped me continue to fund my trips while I'm traveling. Best part of it is that you can learn for free anywhere. So YouTube is great, and also I love SkillShare. I love SkillShare. SkillShare is great in order to learn any kind of skill. It's basically a platform where people post online lessons, and you can find just about anything, whether if it's Photoshop, videography, arts, dance, etc. It's just an awesome way to learn something. So I love using SkillShare because it's helped me improve my design work exponentially. So thank you, SkillShare. But yeah, having some kind of skill that is marketable is an amazing way to make money while traveling. And not only that, there are other ways you can also make money while traveling. You can literally get a job in the country you're in. As native English speakers, we're kind of spoiled because English is basically needed everywhere in the world. So whether if you want to teach in Japan, teach in Korea, teach in Guatemala, there is a plethora of options for you to use and choose from. I plan on teaching in South Korea because going to Korea has always been one of my dreams, and it's a great way for me to also make money. Another amazing tool and platform that exists is called VIPKid. This is also something I do as well. I teach English to Chinese students online, so I can do it literally from anywhere. People all over the world use this platform in order to travel. It's 20 bucks an hour, and it's really easy. All you have to do is just have a computer and a webcam and a good microphone. Okay, I think that's mostly it. I'm sorry if this is rushed. I will definitely make sure to link everything that I discussed below. If you have any additional questions, please let me know and I will gladly answer them. I will also be doing other parts of traveling hacks, so please keep a lookout on YouTube or Facebook. And I hope that this was helpful and really informative. Sorry for how long it is, but thank you so much for watching, everyone, and take care. This is Day saying have a nice day. Bye-bye.